Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Idaho Technology Council President and CEO, Jay Larson.
Wow, thank you guys. Thank you and welcome to Idaho Technology Council's Vision Idaho Conference, the 2020 virtual edition. Wherever you're zooming in from across the Gem State or nationwide, we're thrilled you could join us as we highlight the transformation of each region in Idaho. What once began as a mining state, Idaho has become a melting pot of major industries from food, manufacturing, and agriculture, advanced manufacturing, semiconductors, and computing technologies. To aerospace and energy, Idaho is a mecca of innovation and technology. The entrepreneur is at the heart of innovation and in transformation. Entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs are also needed to help grow the company. To grow the economy, we must grow the entrepreneurs within it. Region by region, looking at the DNA of each community and also looking at industry platforms that have been resilient during a challenging 2020 year. We have a great conference lined up today. We will preview the 2020 Idaho Knowledge Report, which evaluates various key performance indicators for industries that are cognitive and complex, and also the ITC's Tech to Market co-chairs Derek Ellis, CEO of SMH, and Kaz Lawler, lead innovative technologist at Emerson, will join us to connect with companies throughout Idaho to discuss innovation throughout the state. But first, I'd love to be able to have you guys do something for me. Take and make sure if you're on the call right now, on the Zoom call, please go in and open up your camera, because we're going to be able to see everybody behind me and show you all the people that are coming in and zooming in from all throughout throughout Idaho and other parts of the country. So, yeah, please take a look at that. Thank you very much. It's very good. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so now we have the opportunity to welcome Idaho's 33rd governor, Brad Little, who has been a phenomenal partner with the Idaho Technology Council, working to grow an innovative ecosystem in Idaho. So please welcome me, Brad Little. Thank you, Governor. Thank you so much, Brad.
Well, thank you. I feel like I'm on Hollywood Squares. Thank you for participating in the discussion about the future of Idaho's technology sector and knowledge-based economy. I appreciate everyone here for helping develop strategies that will result in an industry leading products and services right here in Idaho. Your work is creating more opportunity for citizens of our great state. Idaho's unprecedented economic and population growth, even during the pandemic, assures we're doing a lot of things right. Governing with responsibility, maintaining a high quality of life, and listening to businesses about what they need and don't need from government. Our rapid growth also challenges political and economic leaders to facilitate the transition from our traditional jobs by supporting an ecosystem where knowledge-based economy and industry can thrive. Innovation plays an important role in that. In all areas, including the traditional industries such as agriculture and natural resources, we're seeing that our cutting-edge products and production and value-added plants. With that comes the need to attract capital investment and support for entrepreneurial ventures so that great ideas can move into commercialization. A diversified economy is a strong economy, and our success as a state depends upon the success of our knowledge-based businesses. A strong, growing technological sector feeds into a lot of other priorities for our state. Since I took office as Idaho's governor, I stated my goal: to make Idaho the place where we have the opportunity to thrive and where our children and grandchildren choose to stay, and for the ones that left to choose to return. I have a constitutional and a moral obligation to uphold our state's duty to create a strong K-12 public education system in Idaho. That's why I quickly declared education to be my #1 priority as governor. My commitment to educated is rooted in my desire for our youngest citizens to live a long, full life of opportunity to be productive and happy, that there be a strong workforce component as well. I will need your help to address the widening attainment gap caused by this pandemic. Our students today are the talent for tomorrow. That's why we must strengthen the talent pipeline for a successful overall Idaho economy. We are working to enhance CTE opportunities in all corners of the state. The tech community is part of this effort, and our educational system more and more leans on the tech sector to identify the best ways to prepare our students for the jobs of tomorrow. I'm also committed to expanding Idaho's broadband infrastructure, and I appreciate the ITC members who serve on my broadband task force to help us connect more of Idaho. In fact, Idaho was one of the top 3 states for our investment of coronavirus relief dollars into broadband. And you can expect to see more plans from me on continuing to invest in broadband across Idaho so that we can boost economic opportunities. I appreciate the work of the Idaho Technology Council in assembling leaders in industry, education, and workforce development to meet the needs of a growing tech sector in Idaho. We must look forward and not just settle for what is needed today, but anticipate future needs and even the needs that we don't know of today. The role of Idaho government is to create an environment where disruption can happen. I hope your time together at this conference is productive and collaborative. Thank you again for what you do to make Idaho a great state.
Thank you so much, Governor. Governor, I've got to tell you, it's phenomenal when we start looking at this, how you're focused on education and the idea of literacy. And I think computing literacy is really good. Anything we can do to help you in that area?
Well, as I stated, we know we always have a gap. We always have an attainment gap. And we've been trying to address that with more money into literacy, more money into STEM, more money into a lot of areas. But had somebody sent me a memo 2 years ago and told me the pandemic was coming, and we were doing a lot of work to get technology into the classroom, but we're going to learn a lot from this. We've already made hundreds of millions of dollars in expanding broadband, both private and public dollars, into Idaho. But we have to take what we've learned from this, and we're really going to have to concentrate on addressing that gap, because we don't want these kids to have an asterisk next to their name that they were learning the fundamental skills of reading, the fundamental skills of science, the fundamental skills of math at this point in time. So we're going to have to do a lot of work. I look forward to working with you, the Idaho Technology Council, all of these great companies about what we can do both collectively as a state and individually as businesses in our communities to address that attainment gap.
And the last point, Governor, that I didn't realize is that we're the third as far as funding for stimulus towards broadband.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing, because that's going to be a connecting point for us all, right?
This is the right thing to do, but we're in the process with the legislature setting up kind of a central clearinghouse. It makes sense that Director Keeley in Commerce, because it's so important for economic development, that we'd already set up, and we had a report that you all participated in. And so we were able to take that and take those coronavirus, those CARES dollars, and implement it into there. And now we can look back and say, where have we got gaps? What communities have got gaps in there? But we're really excited about what's going to take place in Idaho. We had a long way to go, but we had gotten started, maybe a little late, but we got started on our broadband expansion. But it's, as we all know, there's so many people in the urban areas all over the world that want to move to Idaho. The only thing that's keeping them back in some areas is more broadband capacity.
Yeah, and be able to have that, and that immigration's been big, so that's going to be something we're going to continue to talk about. We really appreciate the work, and the pandemic has thrown curveballs at us, but we really appreciate that you keeping the eye on the ball and the work that's really taken place in your office and your focus on helping keep Idaho resilient to all this impact of the pandemic. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we're doing really good, but we need your help. We got a lot of work to do going forward. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks so much. Governor Brad Little, very much appreciate that.
The crowd goes wild.
The crowd goes wild. I heard that. It was fantastic. So now this has been great. We wanted to really thank the governor for taking time to be able to talk about what is taking place and his focus on innovation in Idaho. Thank you very much, Governor Little. Okay, so now we get the opportunity to watch an introductory video of what innovation is taking place in Idaho. So please enjoy the video. Thank you for that. That inspires me. In fact, I was watching that and I saw some sushi and I thought I needed to go take some time to be able to eat some sushi. But the most important thing is it inspired me to be able to understand how it is to be able to be a citizen in Idaho and what a great state we live in and the assets that we have here from a natural resource basis, but also what innovative companies we have here. We wanted to take a moment to thank Holly Troxel, C308 Marketing, the Idaho National Laboratories, Idaho Central Credit Union, the Idaho Department of Labor, and MC for supporting Vision Idaho and all the work they have contributed to the Idaho Knowledge Report. And now I would like to welcome Wayne Rancourt, CFO of Boise Cascade. I grew up in Boise and went to school with John Ferry's sons. My wife worked at Boise Cascade, and I have a great appreciation for what Boise Cascade means to the Idaho business community. Today we have the pleasure to hear the untold story of a leading manufacturer and distributor of building materials with a reputation of bringing people, products, and services together to build homes, businesses, and communities that stand the test of time. Boise Cascade has been a transformative company for the Idaho economy. Wayne, thanks for joining us.
I love it. Rock star introduction. I love it.
Rock star,
I love
Wayne.
it. I love it.
We're gonna. Anybody pull out that guitar for Wayne right now? No, Wayne, take it away.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you briefly about Boise Cascade and my multi-decade journey with the company. I'm going to try to make an old economy story interesting. We were a forest products conglomerate in 1983 when I joined, and I feel like I missed in some ways the most exciting part of the movie because we started in 1957, two small lumber companies, Boise Payette and Cascade, came together, decided to build a pulp and paper mill in the Tri-Cities of Washington. And the following 13 years, they went from that small entity, again based in Idaho and based in Washington, to 55th on the Fortune 500 list in 1970. And the company had an incredibly colorful past, everything from owning Princess Cruise Lines, the magazine Psychology Today. At one point, it had the movie rights to the movie Westworld with Yul Brynner. The company had power plants in Cuba, which Castro took. In China, we had Argentine cattle ranches. It was a huge conglomerate. When I joined in '83, we were 137th on the Fortune 500 list, and we'd narrowed down to the forest products industry. And I want to try to make the Boise Cascade story relatable, because there was a gentleman, Joseph Schumpeter, in 1942, that wrote about creative destruction. And what I really want to describe is what happened to Boise Cascade, and as part of his creative destruction process, which was the process of industrial mutation that incessantly revolutionizes the economic structure from within, incessantly destroying the old one and incessantly creating a new one. And part of the reason I describe this as an evolutionary relationship with technology is we have been proponents of capitalism and the Darwinism, and we have been victims of it. And I would tell you, based on my experience over 35 years, it's not always the strongest that survive. It's often the ones that are most adaptable. And for those on this call that are under 35 years of age, I want to tell you how the cumulative pace of change has really accelerated. If you look at my title slide, that exponential curve of technology and the Internet of Things, it's happened on storage, it's happened on processing power, and we're really now just coming to the powerful stages. If you think about technology doubling, the next generation, if you believe in Gordon's law on technology, that doubling, that current generation is more powerful than all of the previous generations that have come together previously combined. And so for us, part of it's trying to imagine what's in store in the future and how do we move forward and how do we plan for that. So if you go to 1983 when I joined, we owned timberlands, over 2 million acres. We took those long, round wood trees and turned them into products. We made dimension lumber, which eventually evolved into engineered wood products. Highly driven by technology. We couldn't do that without computer-controlled production. It's now designing homes on CAD/CAM systems. We still make plywood. But if you look at what we did historically, we had many end uses. We did communications papers. We did corrugated containers. We made envelopes, magazines. A lot of the communications ends have gone away. Think about that technology curve. In 1987, when the HP LaserJet was popular, we were booming. The industry was incredible. The company was growing. We had a distribution business that sold products into the office products channel. The two biggest sellers were copy paper and toner cartridges. If you look at where we are today, that's gone. Fast forward through private equity ownership, we are now a very focused building products distribution company with engineered wood products that, again, are used in single-family construction. They're used in multifamily apartment buildings, and one of the most exciting developments lately is the building codes have changed, and you're now going to start seeing in the U.S. wood buildings up to 18 stories. So there's this whole product innovation that's going around, all of it enabled by technology. And it's massively changed our industry, and it's completely changed who we need on our team and what we need to do to be effective. So 3 of the areas we focus strategically is really ramp up our innovation, try to take advantage of our skills in engineered wood and get ready for the mass timber phenomenon to hit North America, similar to what's gone on in Europe. Spending a lot of time on diversity, equity, and inclusion and how we attract a broader workforce and younger employees that are technology enabled and move us into digitalization and really progress the business. And if I think about the future, you know, we are just now getting into robotics. Many of our competitors are already moving that direction. We're looking at autonomous guided vehicles in our facilities. The lower corner, you can see the autonomous vehicle that's run by Volvo. They use it to deliver containers. We think over a period of years, the AI is going to develop to where logistics may be autonomous vehicles, and we have to think deeply about how that may impact our company. Obviously, upper right-hand corner, the slide with working from home, that's massively transformed how people live and work in 2020. We think a lot of those trends are going to continue. It's provided a huge tailwind for our business this year, great demand, but it also requires a lot of innovation. And John Stifler and the people working in our IT department have been incredible about enabling our workforce to work from home this year and be entirely successful. And the picture of the young lady on the screen, that's what we think an important component of our workforce is going to look like going forward. Again, technology is hugely important to the success of our company, and being agile is what's allowed us to survive. And thank you for the opportunity to share our story.
That's great. What a fantastic story. We're going to keep the social distancing here with Wayne as we talk about it. Wayne Rancourt, that is absolutely phenomenal presentation. I think that what I think is an amazing journey, and I think you could see it. You could hear that you're talking about tailwinds. You're talking about all the things that have changed, how Boise Cascade is not what it was back in the 70s or 80s or 90s. It's entirely a different company. So Boise Cascade has shown amazing resiliency throughout the years. What one piece of advice would you give other entrepreneurs that are facing the challenges of adversity right now?
Yeah, I think that the best advice I would give, and it's really kind of two pieces, is you really need to listen to the customer and the market and what is the need they're trying to satisfy, not necessarily a specific product. And you really need to build a culture in your company where people are excited about change and excited about innovation and not change resistant. Because as we've seen in our 35 years, markets change, markets evolved. We were big into communication medium, and we stuck to paper and forest products. If we had thought about communications differently, we may have evolved differently. But again, we stuck with what we thought the mode of communications would be and made paper that went into newspapers and paper that went into coated magazines, and we completely missed that shift in technology.
Wow, and that's that innovative disruption where you continue to watch what's going to be innovative. You brought up a point that I thought was interesting. You were talking about how there are wood products and other type of things that are taking place in Europe, and there's going to be that type of new products that are taking place there are going to come to the United States now. What is that?
So there's a couple of products that are being used, cross-laminated timber, where you take lumber and glue it together in very, very large pieces that you can make floor panels, walls. We're looking at making laminated veneer columns that might support a very tall building and provide support for like an elevator shaft. But if you go to Europe, they're building 10, 12-story buildings out of wood, not steel and concrete. And if you think about climate change and all the things the world's trying to do to address climate change, this is a great way to sequester carbon. There's been a lot of health studies, and the wellness is better if you're in a building that has exposed wood. It lowers heart rates, lowers blood pressure.
Are you serious? So that really
contributes to employee wellness.
It brings down your heart rate and helps you you're living a better, healthier life because it's got a natural product to it, right?
And KB Homes is working right now. I think it's KB Homes is working with the Mayo Clinic on house design.
Wow.
Along the same thing. They've got a whole series of wellness studies they're doing in Arizona.
This is interesting because often you look at the timber industry as kind of an older industry, right? That people already perceive that, but that's really not the truth, Wayne, especially if you take a look at the innovation over the last few decades. So you were just talking about some of those, right?
Yeah, and it is an old industry. I mean, if you think about how long people have been using trees for shelters, all the way back to log cabins. Right. But in some ways, what is old is becoming new again. And again, this carbon sequestration, we think there's going to be a huge tailwind to start doing more construction and more building with wood, since it's a renewable resource and it sequesters carbon. I think back to when I was young, there were no plastic bags in grocery stores. It was craft paper bags. And in a lot of cases, some of that is migrating back. People are now starting to use residual wood fiber out of the manufacturing process to make biofuels. And again, looking at trees as a renewable resource. So I think for our company and for our industry, there's incredible opportunities for innovation, incredible opportunities for forest restoration as part of the whole climate initiative.
And be these good stewards. One thing that I've always been impressed with is Boise Cascade has been an amazing steward of the lands, right? That you farm and you harvest, right? One thing that I was going to ask you about that, because this is kind of I've been in several mills, and the board feet you're able to get out of these mills now because of technology is amazing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's stunning. When I first joined the company in 1983, we had several small sawmills in Idaho, Horseshoe Bend, Cascade, Council. We had a plywood plant in Emmett. And to your point, the scale of a wood products facility today and the technology that's involved is mind-boggling. The sensor technology, the automation, the equipment that's gone in. If you look at my last slide, the robotics that are going into the mills, what we now need is a very different workforce. We need software engineers. We need people that know how to do sensor technology, robotics, a lot more electrical engineers. And so the type of workforce we need has really changed, and it's radically changed what a scale size facility is and the reinvestment. And I know other companies in Idaho, Simplot and others, if you look at their potato processing plants, hugely automated and technology driven.
Very much automated. And I walk in those and you see the log that comes in and you get the most board feet, but you see these Ginsu knives, they're like cutting it. It's amazing the saws that come in here and how automated everything is now. So.
Well, and the other thing for us, one of our really, really important values is safety.
Yeah.
And so what we're trying to do is use technology to make jobs safer, and in some case take work out that has been repetitive or dangerous and exposes employees. So there's all these ways we're trying to employ technology to meet customer needs, be more effective, keep people safe, but also upskill the jobs and add more value and more content to it. And it's been a great journey.
I bet it's very impressive. So last question for you, Wayne, is if you look today going 10 years from now, what's going to be the most radical change that's going to take place for Boise Cascade in the next 10 years?
We'll see how much of it occurs at Boise Cascade. I think the autonomous vehicle thing, I don't know if it'll all hit in 10 years. I think that's a big play. I think the other thing for me is housing affordability.
Yeah.
And particularly in metro areas, and we'll see how this gets impacted by work from home. But I'm really hoping that we're involved in the transformation with our customers and trying to develop more affordable shelter and be able to meet that need. And one of the things I often joke about internally is I would love to see, for example, multifamily houseboats.
Oh, wow.
In Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and the people that know me internally will probably laugh at that. But that to me, if we can make affordable housing and provide shelter as part of what we do and cause innovation on that end of things, I think that would just be awesome.
Well, I heard three things. One is that you're a wonderful steward of the environment, right?
Yeah.
You're also ones that are very much looking at the ability to be social stewards, to be able to help make it better for each one of our citizens to live better. And the third part that I thought was really even more amazing is that every time we look at what happens with Boise Cascade, you're a leader of transformation. So we appreciate all you do, Wayne.
Well, we've been in business for over 60 years. And to your point about being a good steward, what we're trying to do is think ahead and prepare so that we're around for the next 60 years. And I really appreciate the time this morning because I think we have an exciting story and proud to be part of Idaho, and thank you for your time.
Well, I totally agree with you. I really want you to know Boise Cascade has been a transformative industry for Idaho. And let's hear it for Wayne Rancourt. Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it so much. So, Wayne, thank you for joining us. He did a wonderful job of talking about a key industry in Idaho that has been foundational to transformation and be able to make Idaho a better place. Because Boise Cascade has been very much focused on being able to transform what's happening within the wood products area, but also how we live day to day. So thank you very much to Boise Cascade. Now we get the chance to watch another video about Idaho. Please roll the tape.
Hello, my name is Tom Keeley, Director of the Idaho Department of Commerce. From U.S. News and World Report to USA Today, from CNBC to Forbes, Idaho has consistently been recognized among the most business-friendly states in the United States. Boise is the capital and largest city. It is the home to leading businesses like Micron Technologies and J.R. Simplot Company, Albertsons and Hewlett-Packard. Whichever part of this magnificent state you choose to discover, you will find spectacular scenery, abundant natural resources, and always friendly and helpful people. If reaching Western U.S. markets is important to your business, Idaho is a more affordable location with greater access to customers than other, more expensive Western states. With a 1.5% property tax and 6% general sales tax, Idaho has one of the lowest per capita tax burdens of any state in the U.S. Beyond the stability and common sense regulation, businesses cite Idaho's low cost of doing business as a major factor in their decision to locate here. Idaho has some of the lowest energy prices in the U.S. with tremendous partnerships with utilities across the state. We know more green energy options are important, and expanding renewable power options throughout Idaho is top priority for our utilities and the state. In fact, in 2018, 81% of the power generated in Idaho was produced from renewable energy sources. This is the second highest share of state renewable power in the U.S. Idaho's Western spirit has created a hardworking, can-do culture, and it shows in our workforce. Our employees are dedicated and highly skilled, and our colleges and universities collaborate with the private sector to customize programs that meet the needs of Idaho businesses. Idaho has statistically become the country's fastest growing state per capita the last 2 years. Over 200 new residents move to Idaho every day. And thanks to a combination of low taxes, a balanced state budget, and a common sense regulatory environment, our economy is one of the strongest in the nation. There is no better time than now to invest and grow your business in Idaho. Food and agriculture production, technology, and advanced manufacturing are a few of Idaho's major industries of interest and our focus for today's presentation. These three industries are among the largest contributors to the state's GSP, the largest employers, and most promising for 10-year growth trends. Idaho's food and agriculture industry may be known for our potatoes, but our roots in agriculture and food production run much deeper. Idaho's produce, grains, meat, seed, and dairy are sold worldwide. Several major food companies have moved their operations to the state. Dairy producers, potato processors, energy bar makers, and fruit product manufacturers call Idaho home. Idaho is the third largest dairy producing state in the country, with over 500 family farms. In total, agriculture and food product manufacturing comprise over 9% of Idaho's gross state product, the fifth largest state agriculture economy by percentage of GSP. Idaho ranks in the top 3 states nationally for number of food machine operators, food producers, and food batch makers in relation to population, with nearly 4 times the average number of employees. Idaho's technology and innovation industry began in the 1970s when tech companies, from homegrown startups to major national corporations, saw Idaho as the ideal location to open and grow their businesses. With long demonstrated strength in semiconductors and research, Idaho is increasingly becoming home to software development and data processing and hosting companies on the cutting edge. In 2019, Idaho's technology and innovation companies produced $7.7 billion to the state's economy and employ over 100,000 Idahoans. Idaho's tech sector grew more than twice the rate of the U.S. national average between 2017 and 2018. Perhaps that is why the number of high-tech companies in the state grew 61% over the past decade, and is forecasted to grow jobs by 17% over the next 10 years. Led by Micron Technology, semiconductor manufacturing in Idaho topped $2.3 billion in state economy contribution in 2019. Idaho has over 4 times the number of semiconductor manufacturing related employees that the national average, positioning Idaho's semiconductor industry for continued growth. Idaho is also home to the Idaho National Laboratory, INL, the nation's leading center for nuclear energy research and development, and emerging cybersecurity and critical infrastructure initiatives. The INL is leading initiatives to develop next-generation reactor technologies such as small modular reactors and microreactors, along with new technology for advanced fuel cycles and space nuclear power systems. Proximity to the INL's supply chain is a critical advantage for Idaho businesses. There's nothing that Idahoans excel more at than to create, design, and make things. When it comes to manufacturing in Idaho, it is big business. Idaho's manufacturers employ nearly 8.3% of the state's total workforce and contribute to more than $10.4 billion of Idaho's economy. That is 12.9% of the state's private sector. The state's advanced manufacturing industry is driven by businesses large and small that are increasingly integrating new innovative technologies into products and processes. Idaho manufacturers produce various chemical and plastic products, textiles, fabricated metals, transportation equipment, medical equipment, paper products, and machinery products, along with 2 times the national average in computer and electronic product manufacturing, and 3 times the national average in wood product manufacturing. Idaho's economy is strong and poised for continued growth. Now is the time to invest in Idaho.
What a wonderful video. Let's hear it for Tom Keeley. Come on out, Tom. Let's hear it.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Tom. That was a fantastic video. It showed Idaho's commitment to being one of the best places to live and do business in the country. So, Tom, that was phenomenal. That is, I talk about being inspired. That inspires me because Idaho has a tremendous amount of innovation. But before we kind of flip over and hand this over to you, I'd love to be able to have us go on the screen. So if you guys are showing your cameras, let's go ahead and, Tom, let's go ahead and look around and see if there's anybody behind us you have. I see even Austin Taylor coming in probably from Salt Lake City, and there are a lot of different people we see out there. Rick Amon, thank you so much for joining us. I see obviously Connie Stouffer is going to be here, so Chris Fry, a lot of other people. Anybody you see up behind there?
A lot of friendly faces.
Yeah.
Boy, good to see everyone.
Yeah.
I wish you were in person. I miss getting out.
It is really good. Sean Lundgraf coming to us from probably Pocatello or Salt Lake. I'm not sure which one, but anyway, it's always good. So this is great. So thank you all for coming and joining us. Tom, thank you for being here. I'm going to just hand this off to you, and thanks for being a part of this.
Thanks, Jay. And you know, it's great to be here and be a part of the Vision Idaho with Idaho Tech Council. I'll tell you, it's been great. And we've known each other a long time. Long time.
I'm so glad you're leading commerce. So thanks, Tom.
Thanks. And I'm not going to use a teleprompter. I'm not as good at that. And I just want to say hello to everybody. I know you're on the back of the screen. You're popping around. Great to be here today. Most of you know I'm Tom Keeley, Director of Commerce. I was appointed by Governor Little about 2 years ago to work as Director of Commerce. And prior to that, my background was business owner, large company, small company, executive, operating positions, leadership positions, private equity. But I'll tell you, since I've been in this role, it's been so exciting. One of the best career moves I've ever made. Again, it's been exciting times, but also interesting times with pandemic. And I'll tell you, but we've got a great team at Commerce. Many of them have taught me well over the last couple years. And I want to say the folks that are on the screen and that we have a tremendous team of economic development professionals from around the state. And I know we're going to hear from a number of folks today. And I've met all of you, I think, except maybe one during my first couple years. But I know it's going to be great to get those reports. At Commerce, we support the legislative, call it rules and goals of Commerce, but we also, you might say, adjust for the priorities of the governor. So I'm going to get into that right now real quickly. This first slide, I'm going to go quickly, but it's tied in with about the time that Boise Cascade came about. This was when the first rules about Idaho commerce and powers and duties were set up. And again, it's pretty back to agriculture, mining, lumbering, manufacturing. Over time, there's been a number of additions. I highlighted in yellow here that to promote innovation and technological improvements for commerce came about. And that's, again, where we know we have to be competitive to be strong, and you have to adopt and innovate and add technology. The mission pretty much boiled down for us now is as we're the lead economic development agency for the state of Idaho. We foster business-friendly environments to aid in the quality of job creation. We support existing companies, strengthen communities, promote innovation, and market Idaho domestically and internationally. The vision, the most important part here is that we try to move at the speed of business, and we try to accelerate the growth of the state's economy and ensure that we are proactively anticipating the needs of businesses to have the best outcome and results. When you think of Idaho, a lot of different images come to mind, but we stay focused on what are the economic development priorities for the state. We're led or guided by Governor Little. And what are his primary economic development priorities? Of course, supporting existing businesses is the key. You know, that's our foundation. It's our support. We also look to broaden the portfolio with the strategic business attractions. What can we add to the state that adds value to our community, keeps us cutting edge, and so forth? Supporting rural Idaho. It's a major initiative, core value, core guiding principle for us. International trade policy, important. Promoting Idaho overall. That includes tourism, travel, recreation, advanced technology ecosystem, key priority, and increasing broadband connectivity. And if you listen to the governor's presentation. The keen one to me is the broadband infrastructure expansion. We're going through a $50 million infrastructure expansion with Commerce, plus broadly in the state, we're doing even more. And it's a high percentage of the CARES Act dollars that came in, and we're looking for more infrastructure build out for broadband in the future. The state is we have very few incentives compared to other states, but utilizing and having responsible incentives is important. And of course, with COVID, we're now pivoting a little bit and adjusting for how we're going to rebound based on COVID out of the outcome or the recommendations from the Idaho Rebounds Group. How do we make all this happen? Well, we have a large statewide economic development network of partners, and a lot of them are here today, and you'll recognize your areas and so forth. But this is a great team, a great group. I think I've been able to meet almost everyone over the last couple of years, and it's been a great partnership and relationship. I'm going to go back one here, sorry. Growth opportunities, again, agriculture, food processing, timber mining, core foundational businesses for the state. Advanced manufacturing, of course, important. Technology innovation in those respective areas is key. Tourism and travel. Tourism is third largest industry for the state of Idaho. Very important. Energy and nuclear, growing, important. Cybersecurity on the cutting edge as well. Below are the infrastructure needs that we watch also, and high-speed internet is critical for maintaining improving education and the economy. COVID-19, I just want to tell you briefly that it's been a challenge, but it's also created some opportunities for developing relationships, getting some funding for key areas, and I think it's going to have some good long-term impact on the state, believe it or not. And then these are key areas. I gave you a sample of what different industries, ag tech, advanced manufacturing, areas that we kind of stay focused on. And these are examples of companies that are leaders in those fields. And most of you know them. The good part is they're across Idaho. We have a very strong ecosystem across Idaho, and this is examples of those folks, institutions and companies. I know I'm running out of time, so just to give you another quick snapshot of key areas, universities, INL, broadband, cybersecurity, key areas, very important for our future growth. How are we doing? We're still flying high. I know we've had a dip with COVID, but we haven't gone down as low as other states, and we're rebounding pretty well. And these are some of the benchmarks that where we've been strong in the past and we will be in the future. That should be the end of my slides. But I'd love to connect. The only slide that's up here is we have 102 broadband projects going around the state, rural Idaho in particular, and these are going to be fabulous infrastructure improvements for the state and for economic development over the future. Okay, I'm wrapping up. I'm sorry I went a little long.
No, Tom, you did. That's fantastic. So, you know, when I watched that, and I know how impactful COVID has been to the state, to the country, and the nation, and globally. How bullish are you on Idaho right now? And I know this is part of your life that you'd live, but how bullish are you on the future of Idaho in the next 5 years?
I'm the top marketing officer of the state.
You're right. No, what are you supposed to?
It's positive, but we're well positioned. The ingredients in this state, you know, you saw the pictures, you've seen the companies, the people we have. We like to stay competitive, we like to be innovative, we like to adopt technology, and we like to grow and be successful. And I think we just have all the great ingredients that go into a pizza. You know, it's how you make it makes the outcome.
Pizza's a good point on this. But I would tell you that the part about this is innovation has kind of been a part of the heart of Idaho's DNA, right? So that plays
grit and the culture. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And you've got history. You know, Boise Cascade was here before, Albertsons, Micron, you have HP, you've got plenty of predecessors that people have just grown forward on. So it's been great.
And we're going to hear from a lot of other companies that we're going to talk about their innovation. So let's hear it for Tom Keeley. Tom, I wanted to tell you, been amazing. Go ahead.
Well, we're going to have representatives from all 6 regions come up next to talk about what's going on in their respective areas. And I thank you very much for being here. Our team thanks you.
Thank you very much, Tom, for all you do. And we appreciate having what Idaho Department of Commerce does because through Tom's leadership. So thank you.
Jay.
And your team. All right. So right now, he's right, Tom, we're going to start going to other regions. So this is going to be fantastic. Let us start by showing you, starting with North Idaho. Roll the film.
Hello, I'm Ginny Gilliam, the President and CEO of the Coeur d'Alene Area Economic Development Corporation. Thank you for your business interest in North Idaho. We are here to help you from site selection to meeting with government officials and business leaders to investigating incentives to meeting with the chambers for your ribbon cutting. We are your one-stop shop for all of your business relocation and expansion needs in North Idaho. Our aim is to help you through the process quickly so you can open your doors and make your time to market goals. Welcome to our communities. We serve all of Kootenai County, from the rural communities to the 4 largest cities of Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Hayden, and Rathdrum. Our mission is to build a healthy economy by strengthening the base, diversifying the economy, supporting the creation of new jobs, and advancing workforce development, all in cooperation with business and industry leaders and all levels of government in order to facilitate business retention, expansion, and attraction.
Wow, that's one of the best places to live on the planet, Coeur d'Alene. So we're going to be joined right now by Ginny Gilliam, who's the president of Jobs Plus, the Coeur d'Alene Area Economic Development Corporation. Jenny, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the invitation to be here.
Well, we
really appreciate that.
Well, we appreciate you being here virtually. I know we'd love to have you here in person, but this is the next best thing. Ginny, take it away.
Thank you. So in general, I think we can all agree that this has been a very challenging and heartbreaking year, not just in Idaho, but across the globe. But in some ways, it's also been very encouraging as our community showed the remarkable resiliency and their ability to transform. North Idaho has always had that remarkable capacity to transform. Composed of 5 rural counties, the region has more than doubled its population in the last 4 decades, going from around 120,000 to over 250,000 in population, with most of the growth centered around the Coeur d'Alene Post Falls area. Up until the 80s, the Coeur d'Alene Post Falls area was very much like most rural communities, relying solely on agriculture, timber, and mining for its economy. Beautiful, with amazing outdoor recreational opportunities, but with slowly declining industries. So community and business leaders at that time decided the region needed a drastic change, something transformational, or they would cease to exist as a strong community and region. They focused on diversifying and expanding the economy to include the hospitality and manufacturing industries, actively making changes around the lakefront, Sherman Avenue, and Northwest Boulevard to I-90, along with also actively growing existing companies and recruiting small manufacturing businesses to North Idaho. Some of those companies include Buck Knives, Titan Springs, Empire Airlines, Bayshore, Ground Force, and many more. Since then, the region has transformed into a world-class tourist mecca with a strong and diverse economy with strengths in manufacturing, including aerospace and aviation, warehousing and distribution, professional services, and the health industry, among many others. Support systems, including telecom companies that provide connectivity and technology companies that keep everything running, from drones in the mining industry to ensuring that everyone's computer is working and secure. All of that has powered the growth. Collaboration with the education industry to keep workforce well-versed in new fields, whether it's coding, machining, or materials engineering, has transformed the labor pool in the region to a more highly trained, better educated group, resulting in significantly higher wages. It is the region's capacity to work together, to partner, to collaborate that has enabled us to make these transformational changes. And it helps, as you heard earlier, that our state and our region are business-friendly places with low taxes, low operating costs, responsive government with a labor pool that has a strong work ethic. For us, as with most of the state, the added bonus of having a high quality of life with access to unmatched outdoor recreational sites and increasing job prospects affords us the option of an excellent life-work balance where our commute can be as little as 5 minutes, and kayaking may be just across Main Street to the lake or to the river. In North Idaho, and we'll dive into this deeper later, our growing health industry gives us an added edge. As we continue to grow, the region's access to a 5-star Mayo Clinic affiliated hospital surrounded by supporting medical services makes it attractive to recruiting, expanding, and starting businesses. All of this growth, however, does not come without challenges. For North Idaho, affordable housing, need for more workforce, competitive wages, infrastructure expansion, and the necessity to better match workforce skills to employer needs are just some of our key concerns. For our rural areas, broadband is in the forefront of critical needs. We are working through all of these by partnering with developers to build workforce-priced housing, with education to better align skills with needs, with private industry to address last-mile broadband, and a host of other ways to increase opportunities. We're using our strength in partnership and collaboration to find new and innovative solutions to address our challenges. The region's growth prior to the pandemic regularly kept us in the top 10% of several places in the US for job and population growth, several times in the number one spot for our regions, the regions our size. We expect this to continue, especially given the record number of businesses that called us since April interested in expanding in the Northwest. According to economists, the Pacific Northwest, Idaho in particular, has been able to withstand the ravages of the pandemic better than many other regions. So to complement this projected growth, our visionary goals for the future include further diversifying our economy to continue to better withstand fluctuations in the market, pandemics like this one, recessions like in 2007, and whatever other black swans the future may hold for us. We also need to address inequality to ensure opportunities are available for all of our citizens, not just broadband capacity, but better equity in education, training, housing, nutrition, in all the basic necessities of life, so everyone has the ability to adequately and properly provide for themselves and their families. Furthermore, we know that we need to continue to develop and update our comprehensive strategic plans to keep our communities viable. We want to address challenges before they become catastrophic, whether it's in housing, transportation, broadband, land use, recreation, or any other aspect of community, business, and economic development. Our region is so looking forward to closing the 2020 chapter and moving into a brighter 2021. Although we know that it won't be immediate, we are looking forward to regaining the strength of our hospitality industry and our many, many businesses, along with continued growth of Region 1. Thank you very much. Derek and Katz, I'm now going to hand it off to you to introduce our Region 1 speaker, who will highlight our growing and transformational health industry in North Idaho.
Thanks so much, Jenny. I'm going to take one brief opportunity to tell you that I've been traveling up there for the last 10 to 12 years, and I'm amazed at the growth and the innovative growth that's taken place up in your region. So thanks for all you do. So
thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Okay, so now please welcome our presenters for the Idaho Regional Highlights. Now this is going to be fun. We get Tech to Market co-chairs Derek Ellis, CEO of SMH, and Kaz Lawler, lead innovative technologist at Emerson. And Kaz came to us from PacSense, who Emerson acquired as a leader there. And so Kaz and Derek are connecting us with companies from throughout Idaho to discuss innovation throughout the state. So let's hear it for Kaz and Derek. Yeah! Wonderful. Hey. This is it. Keep the social distancing, gentlemen. Here we go. Okay, so before we get going, this is one thing that we need to do. There's this Tech to Market wave. Do you want to start it, Derek? Watch this now. There we go. Okay, we got it.
Figure it out.
Thank you very much.
We're getting close.
Yeah, we're getting good.
Still working on it. Thanks, Jay. Thanks for having us out here. We are excited to be here and to connect the audience with business leaders across the state of Idaho.
As Jenny pointed out, the healthcare industry has seen significant transformation in the northern region of Idaho. And we'd like to welcome Chris Meyer, partner at Parkwood Properties and community leader, to talk about the developments.
And now let's take a look at North Idaho. Let's go to Chris.
Chris.
Let's go to
Chris.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Good afternoon, guys. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. I really appreciate it. It's a wonderful privilege to have a chance to talk a little bit about our growing community healthcare system and how it's been transformational in our community and over the last 10 years of growth, as Jenny outlined. The Kootenai Hospital District was founded by our county commissioners in 1956. It's led by an elected and appointed board of local trustees. What that does for us here in our community is gives us high quality, locally controlled healthcare. And we're a bit of a rare bird in some ways. We're now one of less than 50 independent hospitals of our roughly 330 bed size left in the country. So we're fighting hard to maintain that independence and that sort of innovative spirit within our healthcare system here locally. But from a transformational industry standpoint, the employment base here has grown from about 1,800 in 2010 to over 3,600 employees now. Average wages are over 55,000. So it's really become an amazing opportunity for working wage jobs here. This scale was really born out of a competitive necessity. It's a reaction to the enormous economic leakage that was taking place across the borders of the West to the specialty hospitals in Washington. And so we decided that was an opportunity for us to capture those dollars, keep them reinvested here in our local economy. And our current CEO, John Ness, has done a phenomenal job of aligning the interests of the physician community and our community at large to help facilitate this growth. It's really also, fortunately, been done in a way to allow us to keep up with the just incredibly rapid growth we've experienced here in the county, adding over 30,000 residents since 2010. So a couple of different real transformational milestones that we experienced over the last decade. 2013 started a new medical residency program affiliated with the University of Washington. Idaho is second to last in a per capita ratio of primary care physicians to population. So now we're kind of growing our own crop in our agricultural parlance of Idaho of primary care providers to meet the needs of our growing region. In 2016, the hospital made an amazing capital investment in a $100 million facilities campaign, adding neonatology, a new birthing center, and about 80 more beds to our current community hospital capacity. And then immediately on the heels, they pivoted to invest $50 million to update the busiest emergency department in our state. So because of this growing regional leadership, they've been able to affiliate with other regional organizations to, again, create that transformational change we're striving for. In April of 2020, they purchased the St. Mary's Hospital in Cottonwood and the Clearwater Valley Hospital in Orofino, and currently are working on a management agreement with Syringa Hospital down in Grangeville. So this is really helping us coordinate high quality care in our 5 northern counties and slightly beyond that border as well to become a regional healthcare center of excellence. The other aspect of this has been particularly innovative is, as we all know, Idaho has an incredibly rural population. So the development of telemedicine technologies has been very crucial in reaching the care population that sometimes extends into Western Montana as well for our center of excellence here. So the goal for our community hospital for the next 10 years is to be one connected team, boldly transforming the healthcare experience to become a premier medical destination. One of the elements that I was able to participate in actively as a real estate development leader here was the development of a medical corridor. We're hemmed in a little bit by the 2 infrastructure elements of Highway 95, the affectionately known as the GOAT Trail here in North Idaho, going up and down, and across the east and west, running from Spokane through Missoula, is Interstate 90. Those 2 both border our hospital community to allow it to be at the center of Main and Main, so to speak, but also create some growth challenges in the neighborhood. So in 2019, we worked with the Idaho chapter of the Urban Land Institute to help create a study, which was the genesis of an urban renewal district formed by the local community in 2019. So those urban renewal structures here in Idaho have been very key for us to allow this hospital to grow and continue to have a coordinated growth strategy with the local community around us. So it's been a wonderful opportunity to see this local gem grow and develop and become a truly transformational, shall we say, cutting edge industry here in North Idaho. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Chris, that was good on the cutting edge. I really thought that was good. But Chris, thank you so much for being with Parkwood Properties, being a business leader, community leader up there, and all the things that you do up there. We really do appreciate your engagement and a vision that you have for North Idaho. So thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jay. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. All right, now let's take a look at North Central Idaho.
Hey, Jay, it looks like we've got another region online.
Yep.
Scott Corbett is the CEO and president of Valley Vision Economic Development in the Lewis-Clark Valley. Scott, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks very much for the opportunity. I really appreciate the chance to represent both North Central Idaho and Region 2. Our region has its traditional roots in agriculture, education, and forest products. We now have great companies and institutions that are transforming this traditional base using innovation and technology. We're also the home to world leaders in a bunch of different fields, such as data analytics with MZ in Moscow, development and research into development of equipment to protect electrical power grids for Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories with a manufacturing site here in Lewiston, and another one soon to happen up in Moscow, and of course jet boats, where the LC Valley is the jet boat capital of the world. And right now, wineries are looking to join this list. The wine industry has the potential to transform our local economy and diversify it from the traditional base of manufacturing that's been in place for decades. Really trace it back to the 1870s when the first vines were planted in the LC Valley, and fast forward all the way to 2016 with the designation for the LC Valley American Viticultural Area here in Region 2. Now, this region is home to 16 wineries, 9 vineyards, over 300,000 acres of usable land, and over 100 acres of locally grown grapes. This industry is expanding very, very rapidly, with more vines being planted every year and more opportunities for tasting rooms opening every year. So why is this happening in Region 2? Well, 2 words, geography and geology are leading the way. Different slopes, different elevations allow different varietals to really thrive in our region. Good planting areas are easy to develop and contain proper drainage characteristics for our soils. Steep slopes allow for good frost protection as the temperatures get cooler in the fall. But really, none of this would matter if we didn't have really high quality people in the industry. Our winemakers are educated and skilled, and they're starting to be recognized for their excellence. The Clearwater Canyon Cellars here in Lewiston was recently recognized as the 2020 Northwest Winery of the Year. And just up the road in Julietta, we have Coulter's Creek Winery and Vineyards, the 2020 Idaho Winery of the Year. So excellence being recognized. The Region 2 traditional practice of growing and harvesting crops here has been transformed by the growth of our wine industry, an important piece of our agricultural tradition. So too has the traditional staple of education been transformed. In this past year, Region 2 has become a destination for career and technical education. Our region is already home to the 6th highest concentration of college graduates in America. And now we add 2 centers of excellence for CTE. The Neil DeAtley CTE Center, adjacent to our brand new Lewiston High School that we're very proud of, by the way. And about 100 yards to the north, the Schweitzer Center, which is a center for CTE excellence at LC State. Again, very, very proud of both of these facilities. These centers will transform how our young in the region get the training and the skills to fill virtually any need of any employer in America. But we certainly hope they stay close to home and fill the needs of our local employers first. The DeAtley Center will recruit and pull high school students from all over Region 2, allowing even the most rural of students the opportunity to come to Lewiston to get the most out of their CTE education. And that center will be filling the needs of our local employers with the relevant course offerings like machining, healthcare, construction, and automotive. And likewise, the Schweitzer Center will take this same process and take it to a slightly higher level, that collegiate level, in tailoring offerings to our industrial and technical employers such as industrial electronics, information technology, HVAC, and instrumentation. The Schweitzer Center building itself is what they call a living textbook. The interior systems are left exposed, the HVAC, the electrical systems, the wiring, the plumbing, exposed so that the students can actually look up and check out and trace the systems within the building that make it tick. These 2 centers will collaborate on the courses that they offer and really provide the needs for both high school and college students moving forward and the employers who will hire them. These centers will transform our local talent pipelines. And finally, Region 2's forest products industry has been a critical piece of our economy for over a century. While the mission of the forest products industry remains the same, technology has transformed our local companies into safer, more profitable businesses. I'll leave the discussion of Clearwater paper to Sean Cranick, who's going to be following me. And I must say, Sean is an amazing leader and the perfect person to be leading Idaho's last remaining paper mill. Right next door to Clearwater Paper in Lewiston is Idaho Forest Group's Lewiston Mill, one of 6 IFG mills around the region. Once again, a very traditional industry that's being made better through innovation. The Lewiston Mill installed a CT log scanning system, very, very similar to a CT system that you'd find in a hospital. And this will provide a full cross-section of the log, provide a digital reconstruction that allows a virtual grading of the log, which is critical to a lumber mill. It will provide 100% optimum cutting solution and really scope out any defects in the log that can be determined and then avoided during the cut. Each log is maximized to provide the highest quality and the highest resale, drives down the unusable waste and drives up the value. And obviously that's great for business. All of these are examples of how traditional economic roots of Region 2 are being transformed to meet the needs of the respective industries at play. Thank you very much from Region 2 in Lewiston.
Scott, thank you so much. That was wonderful. Really appreciate all that you talked about. And it is amazing what's taking place with Lewiston, Moscow. And we really are excited to be able to work with you in the future. But do us one favor on that tree right back to behind you. Put a couple bulbs on it, will you, next time?
I'll do my best, Jay.
You're so kind. That was totally awesome. Let's hear it for Scott from North Central Idaho.
Excellent, thanks. Hey, Derek,
Yes,
did
Gaz?
you know, nice, did you know that in Lewiston, Idaho, there's an innovative company that touches the lives of millions of Americans every day?
You don't say.
I don't say. I am saying right now. Their mill in Lewiston makes enough toilet paper each day to reach from Idaho to the moon and almost all the way back to Idaho.
Kaz, is this Clearwater Paper?
It is.
Born in Idaho in 1926, now operates in 14 states, providing not only toilet paper, they also produce paperboard for food, packaging, and other critical supplies we use every day. And today we have the opportunity to talk to Sean Kranick, the Lewiston Mill site manager, about how they innovate with people, ingenuity, and technology every single day. Sean, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the amazing introduction, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me well. My name is Sean Kranick. I'm a proud 28-year paper maker, born in Wisconsin, Green Bay specifically. What an exciting time to be part of Clearwater Paper. We've got over 1,200 local employees, a $95 million payroll averaging about $70,000 per employee. Our economic multiplier contribution to Idaho is around $1 billion when you look at the jobs created outside of what we do. We are so proud to be part of the Idaho community and believe Idaho is a great place to live and do business in, especially in the beautiful Lewiston-Clarkson Valley where we're nestled in between the mountains. So what do we do at Clearwater Paper? Our name kind of says most of it, but we are specifically in some pretty amazing product lines. We're the nation's largest provider of private label quality store bathroom tissue and towels. We're also a leader in paperboard production for high-end packaging, which a lot of you are familiar with. During the pandemic, people want a lot of. Our bathroom tissue lines are running 24/7. We can't make enough. And believe it or not, the second largest product is ice cream containers. That's been really interesting. Many of you may have a perception of the pulp and paper industry, perhaps being old-fashioned and outdated. However, I hope I get the chance to bring every one of you through our mill and show you what we do. I think it would change your perception just how automated and technological we can be. Technology advances every year. We are running our mills safer, cleaner, faster, with lower costs, while becoming much more sustainable. These projects are made successful by working with the industry's finest engineers from our local colleges. We recruit a ton of people from our local colleges. These projects are in software, hardware, advanced equipment coming from places like Finland, Germany, and China. And we have outstanding support from government leaders and organizations. A recent example, we recently completed a project aimed at reducing serious injuries between mobile equipment and personnel, an injury that a lot of people could not recover from if that happened. The project also reduced damage and improved overall quality. What we did is we actually moved to robotic case packers. We have robots that pack our product and also robots that drive our forklifts and laser guided autonomous vehicles. We have these at several sites, Las Vegas, Shelby, North Carolina, and here in Lewiston. And you can come and see them anytime once the pandemic kind of settles down. You may be thinking, though, what happens to those jobs when we start to look at robots and automation? We did not phase out jobs and reduce headcount with this. What we did is we used training, we used other job opportunities and expert equipment suppliers to help get our employees into different roles and actually support some of the robots. They actually need some tender loving care when we maintain them, and a lot of really highly skilled positions. Which brings us to another related passion of mine. I've been involved in this for over 20 years, and we certainly are proud to be a member of encompassing workforce development, STEM jobs, and career technical education. Clearwater Paper has been working with Idaho Department of Labor, career technical education, and state educational institutions for more than a decade to prepare the changeover of skills needed for today's workforce. Because we've watched the skills required to run mills change so quickly over time through advancement, we also see the critical need to increase the funnel of available local talent to fill the jobs of today and the future. The days of the early 1900s that if you've ever seen a picture, paper makers didn't even wear boots. So we actually wear steel toes now. So that's a old look into history. We've enjoyed partnering with Governor Little's Workforce Development Council, Lewis Clark State College, and now we are even more excited to work with the new CTE program at Lewiston High School. All of this to help give tomorrow's potential employees the technology know-how and related skills that are critical to coming to work at our company, as well as others. We are dedicated to continued reinvestment, which we're involved in right now, and we're going to be announcing some really exciting things happening at the mill, and to lead in new product development, which we have also recently introduced, and the development of current and future employees. In the 3 minutes time, I can only scratch the surface of sharing all the exciting things going on at Clearwater Paper Lewiston Mill and how technology plays a role in our business. I hope someday we can share that personally with a live mill tour, and come and visit Idaho's only pulp and paper mill, one of the best there is. And thank you for having me today.
Scott, thank you so much. That was awesome. And we will we'll make a point to be able to come up and visit and take a tour of the Clearwater Paper Mill. That is a tremendous opportunity. And if you can, when we come up, can you take us to the moon and back on that? Is there any way to do that?
We can try. I'll try to fix something up.
Very good. Thanks, Sean. Wonderful job. Thank you so much for doing that. And we're very, I didn't realize $1 billion on the economic impact of the state of Idaho. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. It looks like we're going to move to the southwestern region of Idaho.
Through strong collaborative relationships supported by the Boise Valley Economic Partnership, we have a collaborative environment. From agriculture to technology, companies like Lactalis to Autovol, House of Design, and Amazon. With the first fulfillment center in the state of Idaho, we have a diverse job market and economy.
In Boise, I know you'll enjoy our incredibly vibrant downtown and hope that you'll take advantage of our world-class recreation by hiking, biking, even running in our foothills, floating our river, enjoying the greenbelt that covers over 25 miles of path along the river, and of course enjoying our diverse cultures and thriving downtown.
Our community has deep agribusiness roots that has welcomed diversity in business. Getting around is easy. It only takes 30 minutes to get from one end of our valley to the other. With new high-end industrial parks, a revitalized and welcoming downtown, a growing wine industry, and a family-first attitude, there is something for everybody. You will find our area to be a great location for doing business and doing it well.
We're proud to be a partner in the Boise Metro. Located in the heart of the region, we're one of the nation's fastest growing cities and home to premier corporate business parks and great places for shopping and family fun like the Village, Wahoo's, and Roaring Springs Water Park.
There is something for everyone in the Boise Metro. Our community is surrounded by foothills and the Boise River, offering extraordinary quality of life and executive housing. We also boast a high-tech scene with headquarters like Lamb Weston and Intuit with more than 900 employees.
We celebrate open space with over 485,000 acres of protected land for national birds of prey viewing and recreation area. We also feed the world from Idaho. Our region is rooted in agricultural heritage and food processing, and we can't wait to welcome new companies to join our growing community.
What a great video about southwestern Idaho. And to talk more about southwestern Idaho's Charity Nelson, who's the Director of Economic Development for Boise Valley Economic Partnership. Charity is also a fantastic soccer player. Charity, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jay. And first, I've got to give a photo credit. That video was created by Cody Newton with Newton to Newton Productions in Kuna, Idaho, and he did a great job. So
awesome.
Big shout out.
Thanks, Cody. Okay, thanks, Charity.
Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity to represent southwestern Idaho. We have a history of agriculture along with large companies at headquarters like Micron Technology, J.R. Simplot Company, Hewlett-Packard, Albertsons. All of these created the economic roots of our area. The leadership from these companies brought innovation and vision, along with a strong work ethic that created the community of commerce and entrepreneurship that continues today. Our region has a lot of strengths. I think we all have to talk about the recreation and the lifestyle. We also have an abundance of urban activities, a thriving art scene, and strong job growth that truly make this a great place to live, work, and play. We have an innovative ecosystem that is really grounded in the research and development efforts of our legacy companies, as well as our newer companies. Those companies have been invested in our educational systems. We now have a nationally recognized research university that feeds the entrepreneurial ecosystem of the region and supports the research and development efforts of our companies. We also have strong population growth that has really helped to bolster our economy. Over the last 10 years, we've seen a 21.5% population growth compared to 6.3% across the nation. A lot of that growth is driven by in-migration. And that in-migration, by and large, are people that are the core of our workforce. Over 3/4 of our in-migration is under the age of 50, which really creates the labor force to drive jobs here. Of course, no region is without challenges. We need to continue to build and recruit the skilled workforce that is needed to support our innovation economy. We saw 19.1% job growth from 2014 to 2019. While that job growth is so important for our economy, we need to make sure that we have people with the right skills to fill those jobs. Many people have mentioned it was kicked off by the governor, but broadband, of course, is an issue across the nation and here in our region as well. We offer great connectivity actually within our urban areas for both businesses and individuals, but what we're seeing is that high costs of service really create a huge disadvantage for lower income residents. And in our more rural areas, the infrastructure either simply does not exist or is not adequate to support the needs of those areas. One particular concern is our resort areas. Think about McCall that might see an influx of 20,000 visitors on a given weekend. And that influx completely overwhelms the systems that are not prepared to support those numbers. I couldn't talk about the challenges in our region without mentioning affordable housing. The cost of living here continues to remain slightly below the national average, but we have seen a huge increase in our cost of housing. Just as one example, from August of 2019 to August of 2020, the cost of a single family home increased by 12.7% and 21.6% respectively in our most populated counties of Ada and Canyon. You heard that correctly. In Canyon County, in the course of 1 year, there was more than a 21% increase in the cost of a single family home. Of course, this is an issue that certainly needs to be addressed, and we have a lot of people working on the problem. And fortunately, you're going to get to hear from a wonderfully innovative company in our region that is working on this problem across the nation. There's been so much change in our region, and nowhere is that more apparent than in some of our most transformative industries. Healthcare, I think, is on all of our minds right now, and it's been an industry that's seen an amazing amount of transformation. There were already changes coming. This was really an industry that was ripe for disruption. And if you want disruption, bring on a pandemic. The pandemic has really accelerated the changes in this industry. Hospitals had to transform nearly overnight, had to create completely new processes to deal with the new protocols. There's been a huge acceleration of digital programs and services, some of these that are beginning to address the inequities that we see in healthcare. Finding answers, developing creative solutions, and cultivating a workforce that's equipped to deploy those solutions while tackling the problem of affordability are the challenges of our time and our region in healthcare. And the answers are most likely to emerge through important and creative partnerships and collaboration. The second industry is manufacturing. This has been an important and stable industry in our economy for a long time, and it continues to transform our region, partially through the creation of stable jobs with longevity and great solid wages, and also through the radical ways that manufacturing is changing, the processes, systems, materials, and the focus is on sustainability. We have a stable base here of manufacturing with semiconductors, food processing, and agricultural-based product development, but also new strong developments in places even like breweries and wineries. These industries are able to grow from the great traditions of Idaho industries, as well as a highly productive workforce and agile institutes of higher education. The third industry is what we're calling technology and scientific, but what we're really talking about is Industry 4.0, this fourth industrial revolution that's based on data, connectivity, calculation power, and technology combined with commercial solutions. With big data infrastructure, machine learning, and AI, more and more data can be handled and unprecedented insights are generated. We're experiencing an increase in data-related jobs, data analysts, data scientists, and a reduction of jobs with repetitive content. In technology companies today, there are literally no employees that are not touching great amounts of data. The huge increase in amounts of data, the connectivity of machines and tools, and the accessibility of the data is driving significant transformation across many different sectors in our region. As all of us have talked about and are well aware, 2020 has been challenging in many ways, but it has also seen amazing innovations. We cannot wait to see what else is to come in this region and across the state.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. I wanted to just make a comment on this. Livability had the Boise Valley as the #1 livable city in the United States. The second one on that list was over in North Carolina. But we weren't able to keep that the following year because of the one issue that you were talking about, and that's affordability, right? With that 21% increase in the areas that are coming up with housing, it's taken us out. Thank you so much for bringing up some of these very vital points that we need to deal with within Region 3. So thank you.
Yeah, Jay, you're right about that. With all of the growth happening in Idaho, there is a significant need for affordable housing. And that's exactly what our next Idaho company is focused on.
Rick Murdoch, CEO of Audivol, is joining us to discuss how they are building affordable housing with automated, volumetric, modular construction right here in Idaho. Thanks for joining us, Rick.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Rick. As he said, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Audivol. Audivol is an automated volumetric modular manufacturing company. And really what our purpose is we take buildings, multi-story, multifamily buildings, we break those down into modules, we build them off-site and then deliver them to the site for erection and completion. And by doing so, we can cut the cost by 20% and the time savings of up to 40%. So my founding partners, Caleb Roop and Curtis Fletcher, we established Audivol in 2018. We're located in Nampa because it's a wonderful state to work in and a great city to work with. And we have created the first fully automated modular plant using the most advanced in automation and robotics. So in basics, we build multifamily affordable housing with robots like the automobile industry builds cars. And we do that because the demand is so high. and the demand can't be reached. And so really we're staging the next evolution in technology to help us in the construction world and help us to produce more with less. And so Autovol is a company, 100,000 square foot plant. It's made up of wonderful solutioneers that are given the tools and the technology to change the way we do construction and become much better at it, more specific at it, and be able to reach the needs so that people can live close to where they live. So it's a combination between automation, robotics, and good, solid human labor. And these solutioneers that we work with, we synchronize with our automation. And I can tell you thus far, we're very pleased with where we're at. The idea, again, is to lower the cost. We know all the labor issues that are out there. Automation was designed to take the heavy lifting off of people and put that on machines and robots. So it's better off for the people that are actually doing the work. And then have our human resources do more of the final finishes and the extra MEPs and so forth to lighten the loads. So again, we're a group of solutioneers. We're hiring our family. We've got our first 110 employees in this exciting adventure. We're very pleased with what we've done so far with automation and robotics. And I can tell you to see buildings built with robots versus people has been unbelievable to watch and unbelievable to create and grow. So we're here to help, and we hope that we can do everything we can with the focus on affordable housing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick. That was awesome. We're very much Autovol. We're looking forward to seeing what takes place, and we love the automation that you have. And my guess is you can do things that are very standard but very unique in architecture as well, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. So, all right. Thank you so much, Rick. And now let's take a look at South Central Idaho. That is fantastic about Region 4. Joining us is Connie Stouffer, who is the Executive Director of Southern Idaho Economic Development. Connie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you to you, the Idaho Tech Council, for putting on this event and for inviting me to share with you all about South Central Idaho. The South Central region, like the rest of the state, is diverse. As many of you know, the Magic Valley was founded with agricultural roots. Those roots are still strong today, but they are not alone. When evaluating our top transformative industries, we were lucky in that we had many to choose from. In the end, we settled on tourism, food processing, and agricultural and natural resources. Some of these categories may come as a surprise to those of you who may not connect cows and ski slopes to technology. The reality is technology is driving our growth and success in these industries. From the science and technology that helps dairymen produce more milk without more cows, allows manufacturers like Himpotexture, who you'll hear from later, to create new innovative products, helps our tourism industry compete on a global stage, and helps us to continue to grow our local industry without draining our natural resources. With our world-leading, innovative, and growing food industry, it is no wonder that we've been named the Silicon Valley of food. With this growing industry, we've also seen growth in our supply chain, from packaging, cold storage, and R&D. While this year has been challenging, we've continued to see growth, expansions, innovations, and people flocking to the region who are looking forward to calling the Magic Valley and the Wood River Valley home. Our success and growth are not without its challenges. Like many other regions, investments in communication infrastructure will be essential for our company's growth, particularly in a COVID environment. Additionally, as all companies know, an educated and skilled workforce is critical. South Central Idaho is home to amazing education partners like the College of Southern Idaho. But we need to work collectively to improve educational outcomes, including high school graduation rates and college go-on rates, to support our existing companies and the growth of technology jobs we see on the horizon. This also led us to discuss growing disparities in wages, education, and opportunities for Idahoans. Our region's visionary goals include growing a vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystem. That ecosystem will require addressing our obstacles like communication infrastructure and skills gaps, as well as crafting an environment of mentorship and innovation. We've been so happy to see some of the first completed broadband projects completed in South Central Idaho. Work is already underway to determine the feasibility and next steps to ensure the successful development and growth of our entrepreneurs for our Food Innovation Center. We also plan to build off of our Silicon Valley of food branding to make sure that the world knows that we are the best at what we do. And last but not least, we see incredible opportunity to shore up supply chain issues that we've seen come to light due to COVID, creating efficiency and sustainability for our local businesses and their customers in any environment. I want to thank all of the members of the South Central team, Nathan Murray, Harry Griffith, Bonang Ciola, Doug Manning, Gwendolyn Holland, and Susan Podacek, and Todd Schwartz, who contributed to this effort. And I want to thank all of you for your interest in growing Idaho. Now I'm excited to welcome one of our transformational businesses who are leading the way in sustainable building in the United States.
Connie, thank you so much. This is going to be fun. And everybody know this is Connie helps with the economic development from Ketchum, Twin Falls area over to Burley, and she does a wonderful job. And I also am really excited about this Silicon Valley of food production. So we're going to keep an eye on that, Connie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is totally excellent. Thank you. Our next company Connie was talking about is all about sustainability.
Located in Ketchum, Idaho, Hempitexture is creating healthy, energy-efficient habitats.
We'd like to welcome Tommy Gibbons, co-founder and chief operations officer of Hempitexture. Tommy?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for kicking it over to me. My name is Tommy Gibbons. I'm the Chief Operations Officer at Hempitexture. At Hempitexture, we manufacture and distribute the most sustainable insulation material on the planet. We call this material hemp wool. That's our trademark name for this insulation. So why would you insulate a home with a material made out of hemp, you might ask? Well, it's energy efficient, it's high performing and long lasting, and it's carbon negative. Architects these days are looking to spec materials that are carbon negative to reduce the embodied footprint of a building and also increase the ability for the occupant's health to be reduced exposure to VOCs and toxic off-gassing. Our material does exactly that. Our sales have grown 10x year over year despite the pandemic. We distribute our material from South Central Idaho, and now we have plans to onshore manufacturing into the United States to South Central Idaho to access all of the green building markets across the West and the Rocky Mountain West, as well as the hemp markets of Colorado, Oregon, and Montana, where we get our feedstock and supply from. Our clients include notable architects, as well as people like Robert Downey Jr., Kim and Kanye West, and the Wynn family. And we have influencers that have featured our product with YouTube views totaling over 400,000. My business partner and I have known each other for over 15 years. We're based in the Wood River Valley. We were named to Forbes 30 Under 30 list for manufacturing and industry last year in 2020. And we've had the Hemp Building Summit 2 years consecutively in Ketchum, Idaho, that have brought over 300 people to our region annually. We're so excited to be growing our business in Idaho. We're so excited by the builders who have adopted our material and the chance to work with the Southern Idaho Economic Development Group to expand our company. We were just yesterday down in Gooding, Idaho to talk on site about a production facility we are interested in creating. And we will actually be announcing in Q1 of 2021 an equity crowdfunding round that will allow retail investors of any size, accredited or non-accredited, institutional or non-institutional, to take ownership of our company and see the upside of the growth that will be bound to happen in South Central Idaho. Thank you guys for listening. Come visit our website at www.hempitexture.com. Follow us on social media. We hope to hear from you soon.
Tommy, thank you so much. So we've had Boise Cascade, Autoval, had you. It's all about building materials. So how you were talking about your hemp wool? How much more effective is hemp wool than traditional insulation?
That's a great question. And when you're thinking about effectiveness, what you want in an insulation material is not only you want it to be carbon negative, so it doesn't have a high embodied carbon footprint like spray foam or fiberglass or rock wool. These are energy intensive materials to create. You also want a material that's not going to degrade over time. So not only does our thermal resistance consistent with every other conventional insulation material, but it's mold proof, pest proof, rot proof. And so I use it in my own house. It's a beautiful insulation material. You can touch it with your hands. It truly is a step above what's currently on the market.
We'll keep our eyes on you. Thanks so much, Tommy. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now, we're going to do something really quickly before we go. If we can come back to our screen, we got to see all the people that are still joining us across the state here. There we go. So you guys see anybody you recognize here? I see Heidi Jarvis Grimes on there. I can see
more and more
part.
people are coming on. This is great.
Yeah, a lot of different people here. So we appreciate it. Sean Perkins.
Oh, Darcy's not there, but
yeah. John Stifler, Boise Cascade. We got a lot of our
Frisco.
Brian Magleby from Eastside. Steve Frisco from Holly Troxel. It's really fast. Really good. So Amy Lance, a lot of good people here. Thanks you guys for joining us. Awesome. Wendell and Holland, thank you so much. It's really good. So, okay, now thank you all for joining us. Now we're going to take a look at southeastern Idaho and East Idaho with the second largest workforce in the state and the fourth and fifth largest cities in Idaho. These two regions work closely together to promote the assets, strengths, and opportunities for the region. Living life now and working for the future. I love that. And we have Teresa McKnight, who is the CEO of READY, which stands for the Regional Economic Development for Eastern Idaho. Teresa is coming to us from her region, which is the northern most part of the Wasatch Range, and I believe is probably poised to be one of the best growth areas in our state. Teresa, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate this opportunity. You know, when we look at COVID-19, it's really led to significant disruptions affecting nearly every aspect of the global economy and supply chain, which has called for a reset, a pivot across all sectors. And while supply chains have uncovered operational weaknesses, they've also presented some pretty cool transformative opportunities. So through Regional Economic Development for Eastern Idaho, known as READY, we've identified 7 high-producing sectors for Regions 5 and 6. But for Region 5, I'm going to focus on our top 3. That's advanced manufacturing, which includes energy, information technology, which includes cybersecurity and agriculture. For advanced manufacturing, in the knowledge report, we outline how this industry has really shifted over the years, not only with improvements on the production line and advancements in equipment, but also the ability to produce significant R&D, which includes an increase in the number of patents held by businesses in the sector. On Semiconductor and Pocatello, for instance, holds a number of patents for their innovative design methods in computer component manufacturing. JR Simplot has a growing list of over 70 U.S. patents, demonstrating their commitment to innovation and the creation of valuable IP. Sputnik, a leading farm equipment manufacturer in Blackfoot, has demonstrated the ability to bring products from design to market quickly, and they currently hold patents for a number of specialty harvesters and seed potato cutting systems, which are being designed and developed for domestic and international markets. And of course, Premier is another great example of a company that has really pushed the boundaries and advancements in technology to quickly pivot and seek new ways of working in the advanced manufacturing sector, resulting in Premier being recognized as a fast-growing and innovative manufacturing company. Advanced manufacturing sector has also provided a breeding ground for smaller startups to thrive. Inergy is the leader in consumer portable power with a strong focus to provide the world with affordable solar power. And Titan Power is doing remarkable work in the battery technology field. Advanced manufacturing is an essential part of southeastern Idaho's economy. Approximately 5% of all of our jobs in the region are tied to this industry cluster, and many of them are paying well above the average wage for the region. Our average wage of advanced manufacturing jobs in southeastern Idaho is $66,200, which is almost double the regional average wage of $38,000. Advanced manufacturing is also a top contributor in the regional GDP, and in 2019, advanced manufacturing contributed approximately $775 million, roughly 12% of the regional GDP. It is also important to note that the concentration of advanced manufacturing jobs in southeastern Idaho is 18% higher than national levels and higher than any other region in the state. Information technology is another sector we've identified. IT is all about the use and transfer of information. IT has transformed the way we do business, the way we live, the way we work, as well as the way that we communicate with one another. And as information technology has become more accessible and more widespread, cybersecurity grows in importance. And the field is a very dynamic one. As more people have had to transform the way that they work, the nation has seen an uptick in ever-changing nature of cyber attacks. Southeastern Idaho's IT cybersecurity space has grown exponentially. In the fall of 2019, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, and its partners, Department of Justice, held a ribbon-cutting ceremony at the FBI's new 140,000 square foot data center in Pocatello. This new data center optimizes infrastructure, information, and services through the consolidation of over 100 data centers through the Department of Justice to strengthen the cybersecurity posture for the Department of Justice components. The new data center not only enhances collaboration and information sharing, but it also executes advanced analytics as the epicenter for activities in Washington, D.C. Additionally, with the onset of COVID-19, medical centers like the Portneuf Medical Center had to quickly pivot to e-visits and televisits through the use of IT. In less than 2 weeks, we hit a critical juncture where healthcare providers had to streamline processes and offer personalized care through online interaction with electronic record management tools and other healthcare IT solutions. Portneuf Medical had the ability to continue to provide exceptional healthcare while maintaining and accessing health records through electronic systems in order to quickly review and evaluate a patient's status from anywhere, allowing providers to make informed decisions about patients' health needs and provide the care required. Lastly, the vast amounts of data moving across online systems, along with the systems required for storage, daily transactions, and the exchange and use of data, banking institutions like the Idaho Central Credit Union, through their state-of-the-art data center and cutting-edge cybersecurity systems, advances have made to protect their customers' personal information and data from cyber threats. As you can see, defining this industry is notoriously difficult as it cuts across a number of sectors from manufacturing to healthcare to banking and finance. But with the recent expansion of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Southeastern Idaho has come well positioned to be a global leader for cybersecurity. Small to large cybersecurity companies have already begun to locate into the region since the announcement of the data center. Companies like Buchanan and Edwards and also ECS Federal have now located to the Pocatello-Chubbuck area. Other large employers like the Portneuf Medical Center and Idaho Central Credit Union are not primarily IT cybersecurity companies as their primary function, but they are key players in the development of this industry cluster. Lastly, agriculture is one of the oldest industries in the world and one that has undergone significant transformation. The industry has seen advances in machinery, enhancements in seed production, and development of smart irrigation systems. Most recent, artificial intelligence, AI, has come into play along with other emerging technologies to further increase yields, improve the efficiencies of watering crops, and build sustainability and resilience across crop cultivation. Automation and robotics has become commonplace, even in the food processing industry. Great Western Malting in Pocatello, for instance, is fully automated. The business has been noted for their efforts to improve their manufacturing processes. Agriculture in southeastern Idaho is dominated by crop production, primarily potatoes, sugar beets, barley, and hay, accounting for about 1,300 covered jobs in the region. Livestock and dairy also contribute approximately 600 jobs in the region. Agriculture feeds into and is supported by a dominant food processing industry, with large food processors in the region that include Basic American Foods, Amy's Kitchen, Lamb Weston, Golden Valley Natural, and Great Western Malting. Agriculture and food processing combined accounts for over 5,000 jobs in southeastern Idaho, about 8% of the total employment in our region. And agriculture in southeastern Idaho also benefits greatly from the innovations arising from a thriving farm equipment and manufacturing industry driven largely by Spudnik and Blackfoot. So in summary, in recent years, southeastern Idaho has experienced strong job growth. With one MSA, the thriving city of Pocatello, a large thriving Native American reservation, a strong federal program around cybersecurity, a booming healthcare industry, a stable and sustainable agriculture industry, cutting-edge advanced manufacturing and energy industries to build from, along with a growing four-year university, Idaho State University, southeastern Idaho remains economically strong. And each of these sectors, through incredible leadership, have remained strong and resilient. They quickly pivoted, but most important, each have proven their remarkable ability to think outside the box and quickly respond, even under the most extreme of circumstances. So, Jay, thank you for allowing me to provide an overview of how the three sectors highlighted in southeastern Idaho are playing a major role in transforming Idaho.
Teresa, thank you so much. That is just a great update. And I have to tell you, one should be very, very optimistic about things that are happening over in Region 5 and 6. So thanks for all the work you're doing.
Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Teresa.
Hey, Kaz.
What's up, Derek?
Do you happen to have a charger?
Dude.
It seems as though I've let my phone die. With more and more of life being on mobile devices, sometimes it's hard to keep everything connected and charged.
Did you know that we have a facility right here in Idaho that is producing some of the most advanced lithium-ion batteries and other power technologies in the world? Let's go to Trent Clausen. He's up there, President and Chief Engineer at Titan Power. He's on the line, where we'll learn more about how they're keeping us powered. Trent?
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for letting me join you. We're just super excited to be here. Again, my name is Trent Clausen, and I'm the President and Chief Engineer here at Titan. And we are based in the Pocatello-Chubbuck area. And we take lithium-ion cells like this one, and we build battery packs as small as something like this, and as large as something like this. And there's actually a couple of these go into one of our products. And so we build tons of different kinds of batteries for different customers all over the world. Actually, in fact, 40% of our sales are outside of the United States. So we do a lot of exporting to other countries. We also have warehouses, distributors, and dealers all over the world. We have in Eastern and Western Europe, Australia, Asia, North and South America, every place. We joke that we're still working on Antarctica, but hopefully that will come in time. We started our company in 2015, and since then we've been able to see growth every year. In fact, we've doubled our sales every single year since then. And 2020 so far, we've seen more sales through November than we did all prior 5 years combined. So we're just growing really, really fast, and to be able to do that without adding a lot of debt or giving up any equity has been incredibly challenging, but we've worked really hard, and so far we've been pretty successful in doing that. In 2019, our products were included, well, I should say from 2015 until 2019, all of our product was actually made in Shenzhen, China. And when our products were included in the 25% tariff between Shenzhen and China, we started looking at other countries to build our product. And after going through that work, we thought, why don't we just do it here? And so we moved our entire production facility, or all of our production capabilities, to the United States here in Idaho, and did that in 4 weeks. It was a very long 4 weeks, but we got it completed, and all of our products are now at a much better price, a much better quality, and we get to work with all these great people here. So it's been a really great experience to go through that. As of today, we really build those batteries, like I mentioned before, but next we're working on some other exciting projects. We're working on a golf cart lead acid battery replacement, and we're hoping to launch this product in the next couple of weeks. We're very, very close. And this would mean you could take out 6 of your 60, 70 pound lead acid batteries out of your golf cart and put in one 40 pound lithium ion battery that could drive your golf cart for 70 miles. It could last for a decade. And it even uses your current infrastructure, which is really great for large golf courses. They don't have to pull out all their chargers. They can just drop, plug and play with what we've got there. And then finally, probably the most craziest, audacious plan that we have so far, but we're committed to doing it, is to producing our own cells. These guys that we currently buy from the large 3 manufacturers in Asia, we're going to start producing our own here in the summer, with a goal to produce 1 million annually by starting in the summer of 2021. So we are a rapid growth, high innovation, a small but growing and nimble team. And we're just so happy to be in Idaho. People love, we've had some people move here even. We love a low cost of living. It's a beautiful place to live, really great people. And just, it seems very inexpensive to operate a company here, which makes us globally competitive for our products. Thank you so much for letting us talk about Titan today.
Hey, Trent, thank you so much. Trent, where are you from?
I'm actually born and raised in Alaska. And so this weather's perfect for me. It's nice and warm.
A Nanook of the North type thing. I love it. So, Trent, we love that what you're bringing on this, because mobility and how mobility plays with portability and energy is so vital. So thanks for all the work you're doing. We'll keep a close eye on Titan and see if we can do a highlight on you in the future. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Trent.
Thanks, Trent.
And now we get to welcome Dana Briggs, the Economic Development Director with the City of Idaho Falls. Dana, we appreciate your focus and Mayor Rebecca Casper's focus on innovation. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jay. It's nice to be here, and it's been so lovely hearing from all the different industries and seeing what we have in common, as well as recognizing some of the unique strengths about each of our areas. So as other regions have mentioned, Region 6 is no different in that we celebrate our agricultural roots. We began as a sparsely populated area of cattle and sheep ranchers, and agriculture remains a fundamentally important part of Eastern Idaho's economy and way of life. We have area farmers that produce crops of potatoes, wheat, barley, quinoa, sugar beets, and more. But in 1949, the Atomic Energy Commission opened the National Reactor Testing Station. So this, of course, is what we now know as Idaho National Laboratory, and that introduced many energy firsts into our region. INL is home of the first nuclear energy for commercial power, the home of the nuclear Navy, and now the home for the first future small modular and micro reactors. So here we are 71 years later, and INL continues to be a leader in energy and in our community. So that leads me to the transformative industries of Eastern Idaho. And when we were thinking about these transformative industries, the 3 that came to mind are energy, cyber technology, and healthcare. Energy. Eastern Idaho's focus on energy and science continues to be transformative, not only for our region, but for the state and nation as well. Projects in the pipeline for the coming decade include siting of the world's first small modular reactor, support deployment of commercial microreactors, and leadership for the versatile test reactor. Idaho Falls is a place where private companies can come and gain access to the technical expertise and infrastructure necessary to develop, test, and demonstrate energy designs, as well as the material, fuels, and other technologies. The second is cyber technology. From healthcare and banking to precision agriculture and advanced manufacturing, Eastern Idaho companies are creating and using cyber technologies in ways to deploy their products and services that are transforming our landscape. And finally, healthcare. Eastern Idaho has 4 major hospital facilities, a cancer center, a burn center, and a cardiac center, as well as hundreds of supporting diagnostic and outpatient facilities. Our region has established itself as a healthcare hub, not only for Eastern Idaho, but for Southern Montana and Western Wyoming as well. Our goal here is to provide comprehensive care for all needs without requiring patients to have to travel to other areas of our state or to northern Utah. When we think about the strengths that Eastern Idaho has, the first that came to mind was education. We have the College of Eastern Idaho located in Idaho Falls. We have Brigham Young University, Idaho in Rexburg, and we have an ISU and U of I joint University Place campus here in Idaho Falls. So with all of those education institutions, that is about 50,000 students in our region on any given semester. Another of the strengths that we have is the federal department contracts and programs. As Teresa mentioned, the presence of federal departments and contracts brings limitless possibilities to Eastern Idaho. The Department of Energy, the Department of Defense, and the Department of Homeland Security all have strong footprints in our community and provide many opportunities for businesses. And the third is innovation. Again, beginning in 1949 with the INL, we have built an R&D foundation that has established many firsts for our country and for the region. These innovations continue today, and as not only the laboratory, but from other companies that have worked to deploy the next generation of technology and innovation. And we'll hear from one of those companies here in a moment, which is Advanced Ceramic Fibers and what they have done in our community. Some of the things that we're continuing to work on include public and private partnerships. Eastern Idaho has executed some successful private and public partnerships, but there's opportunity and space for more. We also have a need to continue focusing on infrastructure. We require the ability for companies to be able to travel in and out of Eastern Idaho. And so working to have the proper infrastructure in place, not only with our roads, but our airport facilities as well, is something that we are continuing to focus on. And the third challenge, or something that we're working towards, is more access to capital. Finding capital to bring these innovations to marketplace has been a challenge for some private sector companies, and so we're working to help in that regard. As we look to the future, the visionary goals that we see for Eastern Idaho are to continue to be an energy innovation and sustainability hub. We are looking to be a cybersecurity epicenter, and also to continue with our artificial intelligence and advanced manufacturing sectors. So with that, thank you, Jay, for allowing me to talk about Eastern Idaho, and I'll turn it back to you to go to Advanced Ceramic Fiber.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you for all that you do, and we really sincerely appreciate, as we identify certain companies we've highlighted today, we could have chosen so many, but these are ones that are just totally wonderful in those areas. So Dana, thank you so much. And I'm going to send it over to Kaz.
Thanks, Jay. Derek, aren't you from Idaho Falls?
I am.
What kind of innovation have you seen from that area?
Well, Kaz, in Idaho Falls, there's a company making Fibar. That makes concrete structures stronger without adding weight, allowing the concrete buildings to be taller than 20 stories.
Or more. How do they do that? How do you guys do that?
Well, let's get Sean Perkins, president of Advanced Ceramic Fiber, on the line and hear more about it.
Thanks, everybody. Great opportunity. Appreciate the introduction. I think we need to do a little bit of update on exactly what our products will do, and I'll have an opportunity to spend a few minutes to be able to share that with you. Back in 2015, the Idaho Technology Council honored us with the award for the Early Stage Innovation of the Year. And this is a great opportunity to be able to come back and let you know that your efforts in that honor weren't wasted on you. So I want to spend a couple minutes just telling you a little bit about how we got started and what our technologies are. Our founder, Dr. John E. Garnier, actually was working at the Idaho National Laboratory, and he co-invented a process for converting an outer layer of alpha silicon carbide onto carbon fibers. Of course, I haven't gotten a phone call all day until now I start to present here. But anyway, the original purpose of the materials was to create a type of a safety cladding for nuclear fuel rods, which could prevent a Fukushima type event from ever happening again. But he knew that it had a much broader application in the aerospace and energy industries. And so he retired from the lab and he started Advanced Ceramic Fibers the very next day. So we immediately moved into the Idaho Innovation Center, got some seed funding from the Regional Development Alliance, and a lot of help and coaching from the Small Business Development Center. We also want to express great gratitude to the INL Department of Technology Transfer and the Department of Energy, who actually assigned some of their technologies, intellectual property over to us, and a couple patent applications. It gave us the opportunity to be able to get them commercialized. So since then, ACF has now received 9 patents. We've expanded our technology from just the single alpha silicon carbide and added another 34 truly novel metallic carbide fibers. We've actually grown and expanded that from just not just carbon fibers, but into carbon-based nanoparticles. And we have a new series of extremely unique, innovative ceramic matrix composites. We've grown our company to 11 employees now, and we recently just moved into a 7,000 square foot facility here in Idaho Falls, and we've been the recipient of 6 small business innovation research projects. At our foundation, we are a materials research and development company. Our fibers and nanoparticles are the building blocks for all types of new composites, but in particular ceramics matrix composites. And although they have application in a lot of different industries, our primary drivers are the aerospace and energy industries. What we do is we take the benefits of carbon fibers or other forms of carbon substrates with their lightweight strength capabilities. And then when we convert them, we add in the benefits of ultra high temperature capability and resistance to different types of corrosion. And so in addition to that, we have the potential to be able to produce these in high volumes and at very low cost. So applications primarily that we're focused on right now are turbine engines and other types of propulsion, including rotating detonation engines or nuclear thermal propulsion. And so we think that we're advancing the state of the art in a very real and important way that's going to create big energy efficiencies and for the future. So from a foundational standpoint, if you can run an engine hotter, it can be much more efficient. You can save, you can increase its thrust, you can actually reduce the fuel costs, and you can reduce emissions and that type of thing. So we have the privilege of being able to make new composites that have never actually been possible before, despite tens of millions of dollars that have been spent in federal funding. And so we really are proud of the innovators that we have employed here and the great advances that they're making in those areas. So currently we have projects with the Office of Naval Research, with NASA and the Department of Energy, and several prime military contractors and commercial manufacturers, and focused again on turbine engines for both aeronautical applications and then also for land-based electrical power generation. We have projects that are focused now on, in response to critical national priorities, hypersonic capabilities for greater speed and extended range, and also with space vehicle components, including thermal protection and propulsion systems. And we think that that will help enable major advances in interstellar travel and near-Earth orbit communications and defense capabilities, as well as colonization and mining opportunities in space. So we're grateful to be able to take a few minutes and to be able to share the advances and the things that are happening here at Advanced Ceramic Fibers. Someday we're going to get back to that concrete and making concrete and other types of composites even better. But right now the market is pushing this in a way that we think is pretty exciting and will have big impacts on the future. So thanks for the opportunity to be able to present today.
Yeah, Sean, if you could, please call me back when you can. Sorry, Sean. No, sorry, Sean. Sean, I've got to tell you that after watching Advanced Ceramic Fiber and where you've evolved to, that I know materials and nanotechnologies and the 9 patents you have, it's really great to be able to see the lift that you're getting right now. And we're excited to be able to watch what you're going to be doing in aerospace and many other industries. And it's all because it all started from this idea that took place at INL and is spun out of. So thank you for all the work you're doing. So
Great, thank you.
thanks, Sean. Well done. So Kaz and Derek, thank you for joining us and connecting us to some of the amazing companies throughout Idaho. It is incredibly exciting to see the innovation and the technology in all of the regions throughout Idaho, and that Idaho is really the state of innovation. As Idaho Technology Council's co-chairs for our Tech to Market Committee, I know you are committed to strengthening research, development, and commercialization activity in Idaho.
That's right, Jay, and we've got some pretty amazing things on the horizon for 2021.
In January, we'll be bringing a new look to the Tech to Market series with quarterly meetings showcasing regions throughout the state. So we'll be traveling around together, coming to visit you.
Totally awesome. Make sure that you go to the Idaho Technology Council website and sign up to receive communications of what's to come.
With that being said, let's hear it for Kaz and Derek. The Tech to Market show right here. Coming to you live.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kaz. So, this is great. So we're getting close to the end now. Thank you guys for watching this and the participation. But right now, I'd like to welcome Josh Wright. Josh is the Executive Vice President of Workforce and Economic Development at MC. Josh leads the Community Insights team at MC, a labor market analytics firm based in Moscow. MC's mission is to drive economic prosperity. They do this by informing and connecting employers, educators, and people. MC helps organizations, institutions, and communities thrive by providing the gold standard in local industry, occupation, skills, and education program data. Josh, thanks for joining us right now and talking about the marketing trends here in Idaho. But first, tell us a little bit about MC.
Yeah, thank you, Jay, for having us. Hope you can hear me okay. And again, as my background shows, early Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone. I wanted to feature this picture largely because we are about to move, just in 2 weeks, move into our new building here in downtown Moscow. This is a 70,000 square foot, 4-story office that's going to really changing that dynamic here in Moscow. And we just passed 250 employees across the globe, most of them here in Moscow as well. So we're growing through the pandemic as well. And at MZ, really exciting time for us with this new building. Want to thank Tom Keeley and the Idaho Department of Commerce and Governor Little and everyone who helped us through this process and getting this building project up and running last October. And now we're about to move in. So things at MZ are going very well. I'm also privileged to lead a team of economic and workforce development professionals who support many of the people who in organizations who shared their successes and their initiatives throughout the state. We're very excited and honored to provide data analytics to help them understand their local labor markets, their industries, their emerging opportunities in their economies and their labor markets. So, Jay, that's just a little bit about what MZ is doing and the exciting opportunities that lay ahead for us.
Based out of, like you said, Moscow. So with all of the analytics and things taking place with COVID and all these type of things right now, what would you say Idaho is doing really well right now?
Yeah, I think, we're just about next week going to release our 5th annual Talent Attraction Scorecard. And talent attraction has been a theme. Workforce development, talent attraction has been a big theme in the economic development world for the last 5 to 10 years. We've had an annual scorecard that ranks every single county. And when we see how well Ada County, Canyon County, Bonneville County in Idaho Falls, Kootenai County up in Coeur d'Alene, where Jenny leads that team, they're all doing really well. And I think one thing that Idaho has done is be itself, be its own lean into its strengths to where the low cost of living, the outdoor amenities, the recreational opportunities allow for a lot of skilled job growth, a lot of inbound migration. As Charity mentioned in Boise, I think that's probably the biggest strength for Idaho, just huge population growth, of course, but also a lot of diverse job growth as well. It's one of the things that we've seen in our region here up in Region 2. The Lewiston Tribune just featured how manufacturing is helping fend off the downturn that other regions are seeing in Lewiston, Moscow. As Scott Corbett mentioned, Schweitzer Engineering Labs is going to be setting up another facility, but one here in Moscow, in addition to the one they have in Lewiston and across the state border in Pullman, Washington, where they employ thousands of people. So real good diversity across the state and across different sectors that have been resilient through COVID.
Well, that is, what do you think are some of the things that we should probably watch for as we come out of COVID and we look at what's going to be happening in the next 3 to 5 years?
Sure. I think, the biggest focus for us at MZ has been to look at the labor market through the skills lens, not through just industries and occupations. There's been a couple of folks on this during the presentations, Teresa mentioning cybersecurity, Charity mentioning data analytics, where when we look at the data that the government produces, that we can mine from employers' job postings and look at online social profiles, the ability to parse the labor market from a skills perspective is the biggest trend right now. MZ is leading the way internationally with that for our work in the US, Canada, and the UK, and with our global analytics. And so when we look at that skills data, we can understand how does Idaho Falls versus Boise look from a data science perspective or from a cybersecurity perspective, which allows economic developers like the Idaho Department of Commerce and all these regional organizations to be able to market themselves and match workers better to companies. I really think that has been a big focus through COVID, even before that. And as we think about how do we make our economies more resilient, it's going to have to be from a skills perspective and understanding that not everyone has to get a 4-year degree, not everyone has to have an advanced degree. What at the sub-bachelor's level, there are a lot of opportunity, a lot of open mobility opportunities to match workers. And MZ, through a lot of our free resources that we put online through COVID, job posting optimizer, resume optimizer, a skills gap, a kind of skills match free tool for individuals who want to know what their skills gaps are and how they can look at free training. That's what we've been focused on.
That is totally awesome. Josh, I just as a plug here, I was the South Virginia Technology Council type thing. They just sent me something about how they're trying to watch what's been happening in the Boise Valley, to be able to use that because it has some similarity between that and Roanoke and Blacksburg. Mm-hmm. But they said that they just sent me something yesterday. They talked about how they're using MZ nice. With their data to be able to show the changes that are taking place and measurements that are allowing them to be able to make decisions in the future. So that's a really big plug for MC. I love seeing that.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you mentioning that. We privileged to work with about 250, 300 economic development organizations in almost every state, and also a lot in Canada and the UK, and then hundreds and hundreds of colleges and things like that. So MZ has been, blessed with a lot of great growth and fueled by the data analytics that we're able to provide.
Josh, could you do something for us next year? Make sure you come back and join us on Vision Idaho and give us an update as we come out of 2021, Absolutely. As we come out of COVID. Would you do that for us?
It'd be my honor. Thanks, Jay.
All right. Thanks so much, Josh. Appreciate that and what MZ does. MZ is an amazing analytics company that continues to contribute to Idaho's innovative scene. So the information Josh provided is a sneak preview to the insight provided in the 2019 Idaho Knowledge Report, which are putting the final touches on for publication in January. And what a fantastic Vision Idaho conference. We have heard from about some amazing innovation that's taken place in Idaho. And we also are going to kind of tell you just some brief highlights. And I'm just going to do this for about a minute. Make sure you watch for the 2020 Idaho Knowledge Report, because what's going to happen is it will tell you about the industries that are being amazing. You heard Tom Keeley tell you that 61% growth has taken place in the last decade in technology companies, largely because of the companies that started here 20 years ago to 15 years ago in the state. We also know that there's been such much massive disruption because of COVID-19. We're going to talk about the in-migration situation that takes place into our state because individuals are really looking at the financial climate here as well as the quality of life and want to come here. We'll talk to you a little bit about what's going to be happening with infrastructure demands on things like broadband, on healthcare systems and those type of things. But most importantly, we want you to know that people watch Idaho because of the quality of life. So please watch for the Idaho Knowledge Report as it will be coming out to home to you soon. And we'll be sending all those that are on this call a link as it comes out. So, all right. So thank you so much for joining us and talking about the Idaho Knowledge Report and all the things that are taking place. We will now have the opportunity to invite to the stage the chair of the Idaho Technology Council, as well as the CEO of truckstop.com, Paris Cole. So let's hear it for Paris Cole. Welcome, Paris. High five, Paris. So Paris, this has been fun. We've had a whole opportunity to listen to all 6 economic regions. We've had the chance to be able to hear from some amazing business leaders in our state talking about what's been taking place. What are your thoughts?
Thank you, Jay. First of all, this has been a fantastic event. I've had, as I've been watching backstage, I've had 1,000 thoughts go through my mind, but I want to just focus on 2 as we close out the show. The first is the power of Idaho companies. It was amazing to me, and the thought just kept coming to me that as one Idaho company succeeds, all Idaho companies succeeds. And so I'm thankful for the opportunity that we've had to highlight some of the companies here today. And I would just encourage all of us to continue to promote Idaho businesses because it helps all of us. And so I know that you, Jay, and the ITC staff and others have really put a lot of work into identifying these companies and identifying each of our 6 economic regions and what's happening there. But I would encourage all of us to continue to bring that to light and to let you know and others what's happening within our great state. The second thought I've had is what unites us. As an Idaho Technology Council, one of the things that we're focused on is computing literacy. And as you know, computing literacy is so critical to the success of all of our businesses. Everything that we've talked about today, and I've learned some new words, whether it was volumetric modular construction or hempitecture, those things, all of those things require some level of computing literacy. And so that's a big effort of the ITC is to promote computing literacy within the state of Idaho. And so I would ask that all of our viewers today that you as well support computing literacy throughout the state. So those are just a couple thoughts I had today, Jay, but thank you again for putting this on. It's been a wonderful event.
Well, thank you, Paris, for the leadership. And I do say this is Bob Locken brought this up, who was the founder of ProClarity, which was purchased by Microsoft. And he talked about how important it is for us to know what's happening in our state. And he also wants us to know how much we need to know about the network we need to build so we can not only figure out better solutions for the customers we provide, but we might be able to buy from each other as well, which is also a wonderful thing. So, but thank you so much for all the leadership you give to the Idaho Technology Council and to your company at truckstop.com. So as we go on this, special thanks to the Idaho Knowledge Report and the many contributors from industry and the economic development partners through the state. Thanks to MZ, Idaho Department of Labor, Idaho National Laboratory, Idaho Central Credit Union, Holly Troxel and the Idaho Policy Institute. Thanks to Jeremy Bernstein for chairing the committee, and Mike Kirby and C308 Marketing, and also the Idaho Technology team, Christina Slaughter, David Moore, and Darcy Yarrington. And a special thanks to Governor Brad Little and the Idaho Department of Commerce with Director Tom Keeley. And most important, thanks to all of you, because always remember that in Idaho, innovation matters. Have a great time and a great holiday season. Thank you so much.